What's going on, everyone? We got to talk about altcoin season 2025. We're going to hop straight into this. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But let's talk about altcoin season 2025 because, as you can see, Bitcoin, a good 96K. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of these coins didn't run, but Bitcoin ended up running. And a lot of people are wondering why that happened. Well, that's because altcoin season has technically not happened yet. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. So as you can see, we have all the cryptos here pulled up. We got Bitcoin right here, 96K, Ethereum, 1800, and so on and so forth, right? And as you can see, Bitcoin in the last year is up 53.8%. That's pretty good for Bitcoin. You gotta remember, Bitcoin is usually a slow mover. So yeah, in the last year, it's up 53.8%. And not only is Bitcoin up 53.8% in the last year, if you were to look at it from the perspective of 2022 till now, it went from $16,000 all the way up to where it was all the way at 108K. So from $15,000 to 108K. That is actually pretty big. That's a pretty big leap right there. So a lot of people, they just don't understand. Like we are not in altcoin season. We have not hit altcoin season yet. Bitcoin did run, but altcoin season hasn't. So a lot of people are like, everything's going to crash. Everything's going to crash. I feel like Bitcoin's going to do a pullback, but all that money is going to start going into all these altcoins because of altcoin season. So we're going to start seeing that coming very soon. But anyways, we went all the way up to 108K. And just think about that. 108K from 16K. That's a 6.75x. 6.75x. That's 675% inside of the last almost 3 years, actually. About 2.5 years. In the last 2.5 years, Bitcoin went up 675%. Like, just let that sink in. Like, that's a pretty big leap. That's a pretty big leap for Bitcoin. All right. So what we are seeing now with the all these altcoins, though, is like Bitcoin already did what it did, right? And then you see Ethereum is down 40% in the last year. Ethereum did not run this year. Ethereum actually went down. And then when you look at all this other stuff from 2022, around the same time, around October, till the peak, it was what, $4,000 it peaked out at. So if you think about it, $4,000 from all the way down there at like 1,500, that's not that much. That's not that much at all. So let's go ahead and take that and do the math there. So $4,000 is what it peaked at this time, and it was at 1,500. So that's a 2.66x, and it already lost most of those gains already. Like 2.66x, it already lost most of those gains. So that is actually pretty crazy. And if you look at it, time and time again, it's with a lot of these cryptos. Now, Solana is up 3% in the last year, but Solana did have a nice run up, but it kind of gave back some of those gains. So from the same time when Bitcoin was down, right, around $14, well, Solana went all the way down to $9.97. So let's just say $10. So from $10 Solana up to its previous peak that it just now did 3 months ago, $293. Solana had a nice run, but they gave up a lot of those gains. And inside of the last year, it hasn't really did anything. Like, it did have a pump, but then it gave all those gains right back. So Solana only up 3% in the last year. So pretty much showing you guys this because we have huge potential to have an actual altcoin season once Bitcoin starts pulling back and giving back some of those gains. Because Bitcoin's probably going to end up hitting a new all-time high if we have this pump coming up next. But if we break below this trend line here, then we're probably not going to end up seeing that new all-time high unless we, recover from that, break 100K, and then end up working our way up here to the Fibonacci at 118 because we already got all the way up here to 108K. But we need to get all the way up there to 118, 119K where that Fibonacci is. So that's really what we need to try to do here with Bitcoin. But yeah, altcoin season 2025 is probably going to be coming right after we see that pullback for Bitcoin. So we see BNB right here, though. BNB all the way down here to the same time where Bitcoin was down, also $320. So BNB really only went up a whole 100%, but then it gave back most of those gains. and now you can see it's only up 2.4% in the last year, whereas Bitcoin is up 53.8% in the last year. And you just see it time and time again. Like Dogecoin up 22% in the last year. Dogecoin again all the way back here compared to that high that it had. Nothing compared to what Bitcoin did, right? And then we got Cardano did pretty good. I gotta say Cardano did good. Cardano's up 50% in the last year, and you can see way back here though it was around 31 cent. So it still didn't do as good as Bitcoin, but in the last year it's been doing pretty decent. Sui data absolutely amazing. So Sui is one of those altcoins that actually broke through, and you can kind of see a trend here. Some altcoins had the potential, and some altcoins actually broke through, and they were able to get some of that market share from Bitcoin before altcoin season even started. So we're seeing Tron. Tron is just like a straight trajectory upwards. Usually when Tron pumps, it does not give back all those gains. Like it keeps its gains. It stays fairly level. It stays fairly leveled, up 98.4% in the last year. But then we got stuff like this, and this is where the altcoin season 2025 really needs to come in, because altcoin season needs to save SHIB. SHIB is down 46.4% in the last year, and SHIB has not had a nice run since its first initial run, right, in 2021. And then you can see in 2022, around the same time when Bitcoin was bottomed out, like SHIB has not done much since then. It had one nice pump, and then it went down, and it had another one, and then it immediately went down. So it's literally at the same price it was when Bitcoin bottomed out. This is what I'm talking about. Like these type of coins like SHIB and stuff like this, these are the coins that are probably going to run the most during altcoin season, because it did not have any type of run during Bitcoin's season. So these type of coins are waiting to run. Like the people inside of these coins are waiting to watch it run. They're waiting to start throwing their money in and pump it. So a lot of these coins like SHIB have huge potential, but they're not running. They're not going up because, there's just people have forgot about them, and it's not altcoin season yet. So it has a lot of potential. Toncoin, kind of the same thing, 46.1% down in the last year. You can see it's waiting to run, and you can see the trend here. All these coins that haven't ran yet, they're waiting for their turn. Litecoin up 5.8% in the last year, and Litecoin has not had its turn since the last bull market, and it really has not done anything since then. This is another coin that's waiting. Pepe up 2.6% in the last year. Pepe had some pumps, but it immediately dumps and then gave back those gains. And we're seeing this with a lot of newer altcoins. Like a lot of them are pumping, but then they're immediately dumping and giving back all the gains. So I think Pepe definitely has some potential during the next bull run. We just got to see if it's able to actually hold those gains. Caspa down 14% in the last year. It had really choppy last 2 years. So it kind of has made a lot of gains since then, but it's been really choppy. Now Kronos is another one that has not had its run. 32.5% down in the last year. And then you can see it hasn't ran since 2021. It hasn't done anything since then. This is another coin that's going to be itching to pump during altcoin season. Render has done decent, actually. It's down 44.2% in the last year. Yes, but it had a lot of nice, decent runs. But it immediately dumped after and gave back those gains. And it did it time and time again because it's not altcoin season yet. It wasn't ready to run. So the money quickly flowed out and went into Bitcoin. That's pretty much how it goes. It's the reality. And then you have the outliers that kind of came up just now out of nowhere, like the official Trump coin. Like these type of outliers, they came out, they stole some market share, but then they immediately dumped. We got a lot of coins like that. So Jupiter, this is the exchange, DeFi exchange on Solana, down 59.1% in the last year. But Jupiter has not had its run for this bull market, and it's fairly new as well. It's been taken off recently inside of like popularity. So Jupiter is going to be one of those coins that's going to run really nicely in the altcoin season. Radium is up 62.6% inside the last year. Radium is also a DeFi exchange on Solana. You can also see Radium has not really had its turn since 2021. But even at that, like it had a pump, but it immediately dumped and gave back all those gains. So a lot of these coins are probably going to end up going back to where they previously were. So altcoin season, there's going to be a lot of opportunities. Jasmine coin 12% down in the last year, hasn't really had anything nice since. Well, if you actually look at the market cap was up a lot back inside of 2024, but it gave back all those gains, like time and time again. It keeps happening. Floki 53.8% in the last 20, not 24 hours, but in the last year. Floki pumped, but it gave back all of those gains. So you can see a lot of them, they'll pump and then they'll give back all the gains. Pancake Swap hasn't had a nice run since 2021. 26.3% down in the last year. Pancake Swap will be another one of those projects that probably does very well during this next altcoin season. Dog with Hat down 81.1% in the last year. That's bad. And yeah, Dog with Hat, it gave all those gains back that it had once it came out, and it has not been doing good ever since then. So it should do good during this altcoin season. It should, and meme coin season. So 36.9% down in the last year for Bonk. And Bonk is another one of those that's probably going to do pretty well during the next bull market. Well, next altcoin season, same thing. And then Baby Doge. You already know I like Baby Doge, but it's down 35.7% in the last year. Every single time it pumps, it dumps, and it gives back those gains every single time, and it gets annoying. So when Bitcoin was down at its bottom, Baby Doge was at the same price that it's at right now. Let's just let that sink in. When Bitcoin was at $16,000, Baby Doge was at the exact same price that it's at right now. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And it's because altcoin season and meme coin season has not picked up. And a lot of these projects only do well in altcoin and meme coin season because no one wants to buy them unless everything else is pumping, because this is going to start pumping as well. And that's just the reality of the matter. Like, Baby Doge is probably not going to do well unless the whole overall market's pumping, pushing it to also pump. And it's sad, but it's true. Baby Doge is a good coin to trade, though. All the volatility makes it easy to get in, get out, get in, get out. But yeah, it's a sad reality of coins like this. I still like Baby Doge. I still like it. But the reality is that it's every single time it pumps, it dumps, it gives back those gains. So we have to wait till the next altcoin season and then the next meme coin season to actually get gains from Baby Doge, because 2022 Bitcoin bottomed out at 16K, and then you see 2022 Baby Doge actually higher than it is at right now. Like, it was at 1400 back then, and now it's at 1200. So like, yeah, it's not looking good for Baby Doge. But during this next altcoin season and meme coin season, it should do well. But the problem is it might give back all those gains all over again. So it sucks. But yeah. And then you got a bunch of coins pumping right now and dumping. And see, the thing with the altcoin season and the meme coin season, once you start seeing random coins out of nowhere going crazy, pumping, bunch of money flowing through them, that's when you know we are entering altcoin season and meme coin season. Once you start seeing coins just pumping out of nowhere, bunch of money flowing through them, that's when you know something good is happening. But I wouldn't worry about any of these right now because none of them really have some real volume behind it. This one, Gork, it has some volume behind it. Which one else? Arago, something like that, has some volume. GNSAI has a little bit. Sign has some volume behind it. But most of these projects here, they don't have a lot of volume behind them. They're just kind of aimlessly pumping. And then Solaire also has some good volume behind it. So this is the Gork thing. It's on just a new coin created here on Solana. It's pumping, doing big numbers. But whenever it's altcoin season or meme coin season, you see a bunch of them over 100% in gains. Not just 3, but you end up seeing a lot of them, like about 10 of them over 100% in gains. Random meme coins pumping out of nowhere, and all the main meme coins as well pumping, all the big ones. So we do not have a confirmation for a altcoin season right now, pretty much, and that's what that proves. And yeah, you see a lot of these, they just come out of nowhere and they just start pumping, but then they immediately dump. So we definitely do not have a good sign for meme coin season or altcoin season. We just gotta wait. Solaire is a pretty solid project though. It's been growing a lot lately. I remember I made a video on it not too long ago, and that's when it like was nearly first starting. And now, like, when you look at Solare, like, it's done a lot of numbers. Watch that video that I made. I said, hey, this is going to be a big project. Like, they got a lot going for them. So you guys, want to check it out. And as you can see, Solare, it's been going literally like a stair step all the way up. No drops, no significant drops in Solare. It's just been going up, 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 and up. And check out that video I made, because I made a good call on this one. I made a good call on it. I was doing altcoin gems, and then I seen Solare. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a gem. I think I'm gonna start that series again on this channel, just making random altcoin gem videos. Not random, but like I'm picking them and selecting them. Like, yeah, this is gonna be something that is really gonna work, because it has actual use cases, actual utility. It's an actual good project. So that's why Solare is doing so well. So I'm gonna start making a lot of different videos talking about this type of stuff, because Solare was one of those that I picked and it did very well. So I'll definitely keep y'all updated. But look at this Solare Emerald card. Like that's huge. Like, a lot of projects, they cannot get something like this out. Like, you can access fiat and ATMs, 4% USDT yield. Like, this USD yield, that's huge. You can directly spend your crypto. A lot of projects cannot get something like this done. Now, unfortunately, nothing good like this is ever available in the US. And I look at it. No, usually region specific, EU or US. So availability says no, which sucks, because we never get any of the good crypto stuff for the US. But it is what it is. But yeah, Solare is still a good project, even if you're not, or even if you are in the US, you can still purchase it. So I would definitely say look into it. It is pretty expensive right now. It's at $3. But during this next bull run, this next let's say next altcoin season, we should definitely see this one doing very, very well. And then you got meme coins that just came up not too long ago, 37% up in the last year with based Brett. So this is another one that has given back all of its gains, so it should have some potential to run during altcoin season. And Turbo is up a lot. Turbo is up 675% in the last year. So Turbo, this is actually crazy. If you look at the prices of Turbo here, like, the market cap has already hit very high levels. It's up 675% just in the last year. Think about what it could do. Think about what it already did. This is going to be one of those projects that has huge, huge, huge potential. Like, this has Pepe potential. That's what I'll say about Turbo. It has Pepe potential. Now, I did give back a lot of those gains, but it's still up 675% in the last year, even though it gave back so many gains. So I would definitely say keep an eye out for it. But yeah, this is just a quick little video. I just wanted to let you guys know about the different projects that are going to be good picks during the next altcoin season. And also just wanted to let you guys know, like, very soon we're going to end up seeing a nice big pullback in Bitcoin. It's either going to happen now as we break this trend line, or we're going to maybe break the trend line and then go back up here and then just break out to our previous all-time high and eventually get to new all-time highs. Or it doesn't even break this trend line and it just goes past up to the previous all-time high and then creating a new all-time high after a small pullback. And then once that new all-time high creates, I'm expecting us to have some drops in the market. And this is what leads to altcoin season. This is how the money flows from Bitcoin to the altcoins. So it takes time, but patience is all you really need. Yeah, this is all I got for you all today. I just kind of wanted to bring this to your attention because there's a lot of potential here inside of the markets. You just got to be able to spot the good ones, spot the bad ones, and then separate them, and then only go for the good ones. And like I said, like, I love the Baby Doge and all that, but you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to put all your money in Baby Doge. I mentioned it time and time again. Baby Doge is a good coin to trade, but it's not necessarily a good one to hold for a long term because it always pumps, but then it dumps right after that, and it gives back all those gains, and it happens time and time again with Baby Doge. A lot of other cryptos do it too. Floki does it all the time. Doge on Mars does it all the time. These are coins that will pump and then dump and then never never hold good prices, and a lot of them will do that. So you want to be careful. A lot of the newer meme coins are starting to look like that. So you really want to be focused on like the top 10 type of coins. Also some gems that have actual use cases like Solare. So be careful this altcoin season. You don't want to just start buying stuff because it's not going to work like it worked last altcoin season. Everything's not going to pump and keep going. Some things are going to hit a plateau and then they're going to dump and you're going to lose all of everything that you worked for. So be careful this altcoin season. It's going to be a lot different. There's way too many altcoins circulating right now. Way too many. So it's going to be a lot different. The runners are going to be certain ones. Not everything's going to run though. This altcoin season, this meme coin season is different. There's a lot more money in the market, but now there's a lot more projects in the market as well. So the money is not going to be flowing as freely this time. But anyways, I just wanted to bring that to y'all. Hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And as always, I'll be back with another video.